to episode 114 of Checkpoint Chat, the Mistakes We Made edition, because Matthew and I are very tired. My name is Alessandro Barbosa.
Shocker. No,
I'm joined by Matthew,
Figueroa?
who likely just peeked the shit out of his mic.
I didn't. I actually didn't. I'm watching and we're good.
Yes, it came through on my headphones, and I'm like, yep,
Shut.
that's a mad
red
peak.
lines here. You caught me off guard there because we were actually having a conversation. I didn't realize you had gone quiet, and I'm just like blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm like
blah,
waiting
blah,
for you to shut up,
and then
I'm just like,
nod like hello everyone, welcome.
I'm like waiting for
dude,
you
cool.
so I can
Why don't you
give
just
myself a little lead time for that intro.
Hold up the flag so I can be like, okay, we're gonna start now.
I need a flag. Oh God, need like
Starting
a
now.
red light. Be like live now. You know what I mean?
Can we get an audience applause, please? Welcome to Checkpoint Chat.
I need to get a canned applause thing, like from a game show, like.
Welcome to Checkpoint Chat. Thank you guys. That's too kind.
That'd be great.
We're doing the Corona edition. Yes.
What a weird week and such sad news to wake up to. Chadwick Boseman of Black Panther fame passing away from colon cancer. I just woke up and I got a message from Shani from that, and I was like, "What? That's crazy. This can't be real." And
yeah, I woke up and then I just checked Twitter, and your tweet is actually the first one I saw, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I just scrolled, and then like almost like quite literally 99% of my tweets are just everyone devastated and just shocked that this poor dude suffered
really
through that.
surprising because he never. I mean, no one has to disclose whether they have any terminal illnesses, but like to know that he was fighting colon cancer for 4 years is just, man. And he's only 40. Well, he was 43.
He's 43, and like we said, when you think 4 years, that's the time when, I mean, look, I don't want to say Black Panther put him on the map because that's not true, but Black Panther is arguably his biggest role, and I mean that was filmed within that time, if not just before. I mean, he filled that character's shoes for the last few years while he was battling that.
Well, yeah, it wasn't just Black Panther. I mean, he appeared in the Avengers movies, in Endgame, and that was like not even 2 years ago. So
no. That's very sad news.
That's incredibly sad.
I think, and the best thing I rate on Twitter is just you never know what people are going through. Just always be kind, because I mean that is an absolute shock purely because it's like you have no idea. You think he's young, he's perfectly fine, and actually behind the scenes, the poor dude was suffering. So,
yeah, and I've heard colon cancer is not. It's one of those where it's like. It's not just there and you have the cancer. It's like actually painful.
Shame, man.
So, yeah, it's horrible. I hope Disney doesn't do the thing of like, we're going to recast Black Panther. They should. To me, they should find a way around like honoring who his character was and kind of like tying that into the film. I don't know, because it was such an important role. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say we're in a good space in terms of like the movie cinematic universe because we've got the Black Panther movie coming out, but there's nothing that I know of that touches on Black Panther per se. So it's not a thing of like, oh no, we were halfway through filming or something. I think they've got time and they can actually give him like the right sort of treatment, so that makes sense.
Yeah, the right sort of like memorial, because like that. Yeah, I mean that film to a lot of people is so important, just because of what it signifies, and a huge superhero movie led by a black actor. It was massive to so many minorities and communities. So to like. Just say, he's replaceable would feel so wrong, I think. Yeah. So,
and he filled that role so like perfectly.
Yeah, he was amazing. He was really, really amazing as Black Panther. He also did a film with the Russo brothers afterwards where he was like a detective. It was like a very like a typical like a crime noir film called, I think it was 21 Bridges, which was quite fun as well. But he apparently did quite a few films before that. Oh, obviously he did a few films before Black Panther, which I should go check out. So Yeah, real sad news to wake up to.
State of 2020 at the moment.
Yeah, 2020 just keeps on
punching.
Yeah.
Keeps on hitting.
Fuck this year. So shit.
Yeah, it's been a year.
So shit.
So cuck, man.
Yeah, so cuck. I mean, yeah, just horrible. But otherwise, how's your week been?
It has been a week. I mean, like every other week, it's just been crazy busy. Like, it's not often I get to Friday and I'm like, thank God it's the weekend, so I have some breathing room. But this week was one such instance where it just felt like Monday to Friday I was just running a race, and then as soon as we finished work on Friday, I was like, I can breathe again. Sure. It's just busy, like, man. It's
end
just,
to end for you.
Yeah, it's just we're getting to that time of the year, end of the year, where shit just seems to really go mental. Then you blink and then it's Christmas. You go, wow.
Yeah, you're getting all those
Merry
campaigns
Christmas.
For the launch of the Series X. I mean, you have to get ready for that release date.
Let me disclose everything.
Yeah, I mean, you've already told me the price and the release date.
I told you the release date, the price, so what it looks like, what's actually coming to the console day one, what's been delayed. Just don't tell me.
Yeah, no. I mean, you told me Halo Infinite was delayed before.
I told you that like a year before. It's like Halo Infinite,
exactly.
They're going to reveal it, but it's not in a state to be actually released.
I mean, you've also told me that this game will be the first time we see Master Chief's face. I mean,
shh, don't tell anyone. Why you like this?
And then the big twist of the game is actually he's an alien. He's not even a human.
He's actually Cortana.
He's actually Cortana. Oh my god!
Don't tell
Takes
anyone.
off the helmet and it's just like the hologram of Cortana inside there.
Hello, John.
Hi, John. It's me all along. Why do you think I came all this way?
Why do you think I came? Oh, that's the quote I was looking for. Here's the thing though. Fun fact: like we sometimes get like nuggets of stuff that's confidential, but the reality is I don't know anything about Series X, its price, when it's launching. It
makes sense to keep that guarded, because like the more people know that, the easier it is for it to leak out, and the harder to realize where it leaked out from. Yeah.
I don't know if I've said this on air, but the more I've worked in this role and worked on certain campaigns, the more I've become. The more obvious it's become why leaks happen, or like how they happen. Because like I've told you in the past where sometimes there'll be like, this game was leaked. I'm like, how was it leaked? Was it just someone just being a dick and like spoiling the news, whatever? Whereas the reality is sometimes people who don't know get information. And I can tell you, like we've had stuff sent to us to work on, like, oh shit, this is a game, like this hasn't even been announced and it exists, and I've got people I work with on my team who don't know that sort of thing.
That's the thing. Yeah, they're not in tune with what has been announced and what hasn't, so they get like press or assets for a game and they go, okay, cool, it's like common knowledge.
It's actually been funny because like, so we've got a junior animator, for example, who's like not at all in the gaming sphere, like not a gamer, but obviously works on the team. And like she's done stuff before, and she sends it off to John Michael to check, and he's like, whoa, this game hasn't been announced. We need to email these dudes back and be like, what's going on?
Oh god.
So stuff like that happens.
It's kind of useful to have people like like you and John Michael and others who are in tune with game. And I mean, you guys aren't like gaming journalists, so even in your capacity, there's the possibility of you getting an obscure title and being like, oh, I guess this was announced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at least for like big stuff, you guys act as almost like a free stopgap to be like, hey, whoa,
stop this.
Let's not put this out because I don't think anyone knows about this.
But other than that,
you've told me of 1 or 2 instances where I'm like, my god, that could have really made like proper news if someone just didn't like pump the brakes on that shit.
No, it's crazy.
It's wild, but it just shows you, like, at the end of the day, I mean, some leaks happen because people get in contact with journalists, and sometimes it's developers who want journalists to know about something they've been working on. But human error is a real thing. Like, not everyone knows every single thing about what's been announced and what hasn't. So
no.
One of my favorite leaks still to this day was it was very shortly after the release of Rise of the Tomb Raider, and like no one was really even thinking about what came next, but then some dude snapped a photo of another dude on the subway who had like a pitch deck for Shadow of the Tomb Raider open on his laptop. Like he was working on the presentation.
That's amazing.
I think it was in Montreal where Eidos Montreal was, because they were going to take over development. And he just took a photo and was like, this dude's just got this on his laptop, like open in the subway. And that was like 3 years before the game came out, and it ended up being completely accurate. Like, what the fuck?
You know what's sad about that? It's that dude is probably just working his butt off in that presentation.
Yeah,
and then his team or lead or whoever saw that on Reddit or whatever, is like, listen,
you fucking
about
idiot.
your job. You don't have it anymore.
I feel bad. He's probably like, shit, I need to finish this presentation because we're pitching this thing. Man.
What are the chances that there'd be like a gamer just over my shoulder, for example, and actually reading my shit and going, ooh, look at this delicious Tomb Raider leak right here. Shit. Yeah. That's crazy.
I was always very cautious at when I was writing articles at Varsity, because I used to not listen to lectures and write while I was in a lecture. And I used to always try to find a seat at the back of the lecture hall, because I didn't know people behind me if they were looking, and 9 times out of 10 it wasn't sensitive information, but every now and then it was an embargoed something. I'm just like, well, I don't know if someone's reading over my shoulder. Yeah. And I also just hate it when people watch, when I feel like people are watching while I'm working. I hate it. Stay away from me.
They lean over your shoulder like, oh, interesting. So that game's coming out next year. Oh, cool. Let me just whip open Twitter. Like, no.
When people watch while I'm working, it feels like the frenzy meter from Bloodborne. When anything with an eyeball watches me, that meter's just going up and up, and it's just
and then it fills up, and you just take like 90% damage. Like, oh my god, why?
When I replayed Bloodborne recently, there's that moment, just before you fight Mikolash, there's like that castle where every time it lights up, you take frenzy damage. Yeah. So there's apparently a big eyeball in that castle that there is a way to, there's a way to kill it, but there's a way to sever it and drop it down like a well. And then you can actually you can go down into the pit that it falls into. And that is some of the most harrowing shit I've ever experienced in that game, because it's completely dark. You don't know if you can fall off wherever you're going, and you just hear this pulsing breathing. Yeah. And then next thing you're walking, and then you just come across this massive, grotesque thing of just an eye, and it's just looking at you.
Chilling there. Yes, I remember on my second playthrough, also, because obviously after the first playthrough, I like to read up what did I miss, whatever, and that was one of the things I saw, and I went and I did it. And I'm like, who figures this shit out, for starters? Yeah. And also, not only that, I can't remember the specifics, but there's a way to get...
rune from him,
Yeah, you get something from him, but you have to do
You have to do the making contact pose.
But you have to do it for 2 minutes or something.
You have to just sit there and wait. And you only get that pose if you go up to the church's choir. Which I never, on my first playthrough, I did not know that area existed. I didn't do that area.
What?
Because I remember getting the key now, but I must have, when I did it, when I played the first time, I forgot that there was a door at the top of the healing church. So when I got it this time, or I was looking something up in a guide, and they're like, oh, you need to go to the choir. And I was like, where's that? I've never been there. And when I went there, I was like, this place is terrifying. I do not like this place.
Those games, you should play Dark Souls 3 100% at some point, because if you enjoy Bloodborne, it's so good. Same sort of thing where you'll finish a game, like in my Dark Souls 3 playthrough, for example, I completely missed an area, and reading up on it, how to get there is it's kind of implied, but it's also obscure. I'm like, well, I'll never figure that out.
Yeah,
it's like you have to stand. So what happens is I don't know if it's statues or something, but they're all posed a certain way, which hints that hey, you have to do this pose.
Oh, you have to fill in the blank or something.
Yeah, and you have to face. There's a mountain or something in the horizon. If you face that direction, you do a certain pose. You teleport to this new area.
Oh my god!
I'm like, who figures this out?
That is peak From Software right there.
Yeah. It's so good. It's like that's a good example. I have to replay Dark Souls because I didn't do that area, and apparently the boss there is like one of the most iconic bosses from the game.
Well, it's just like Kanehurst in Bloodborne. Like I missed that entirely the first playthrough as well. And
what is his name? Logarius.
Father Logarius. Yeah, when I played it through now, I'm like, this is one of the best parts of the game. It's like
you missed it.
It's almost like a 3D Castlevania. It's kind of incredible. It's got like vampires and shit, and Father Logarius is one of the coolest bosses. There's a wild Luna behind you? Lupin.
Oh, that's Lupin. Look at him. He's busy kneading the blanket as cats do.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna get comfy.
It's so soft.
He's so funny. I love that cat. This checkpoint chat, we talk about Bloodborne and cats.
And cats. And video games sometimes.
And video games.
Interrupters.
Occasionally.
Every now and then we just talk about some games.
Sometimes we touch on video games. Sometimes we're talking about blankets. You never know. You never know what you get. You never know what you get here. This week has been busy, and busy in the sense that I've only played one game, and it's a game for review, and it's not the most exciting game in the world, so there's not much to say about it. Yeah, I've been playing Project Cars 3, which came out yesterday. I've been playing it for about a week now. What do you know about Project Cars?
I know so my understanding is that the first Project Cars was almost like Lupin. Jeez, sorry, like nearly walked on my keyboard. It was like a community-created racing game, if I'm not mistaken, where and not only
made
that,
by South African.
Yeah, made by South African, and not only was it community created, it was a really good racing sim. As far as I know, like that is my understanding of it. And then I think the second one also was just like bigger and better than the first one. Like that's literally my knowledge on the whole franchise. I've never played a Project Cars.
Yeah, so the Project Cars has always been touted as very, very hardcore in the simulation direction. Very realistic, very tough as nails, for that sort of crowd. So this third one, developed by Slightly Mad Studios at Codemasters, is not that. It's almost weird that this is called Project Cars 3 because it bears almost like no resemblance to Project Cars. In that it feels more like an in-between of Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizon. It's much more arcadey racing, but it's still mostly concerned with like track racing. Every now and then it puts you on tracks like out in the open road, no traffic and whatever, but it doesn't have the open world of a Forza Horizon, but it has the structure of like a Forza Motorsport. It's good. Like, it's the type of racing game I like. I can understand if fans of the series are like, well, what happened? So it's probably good to just put like a disclaimer, like this is so not another one of those games. But
you should have called it not Project Cars.
Yeah, not Project. It should just be a new franchise. Honestly, it just feels, to me, this is why Forza differentiates itself between the Motorsport brand and the Horizon brand, because they're two very different types of racer. That said, I think the change here allows Project Cars 3 to be more like approachable from a wider range of players, obviously. Because it's far more forgiving. It's got the, I can outbrake all my opponents at corners, to an unrealistic degree. But it does make the races feel like very fast and very action-packed because you're doing a lot of overtaking and, you're not worrying about tire wear or pit stops or anything. You're just focusing about like each corner one after the other, which is kind of fun. The campaign is structured well. It's sort of like the Gran Turismo style where you start off with a really low class of car and work your way up, the more wins you get in like a low class, then you unlock like a slightly better class, and then you have access to slightly faster cars, and you work your way up that like tiered system until you start racing like proper track toys, you know what I mean?
Do you have to do licenses?
You do not, because licenses suck, and Gran Turismo should get rid of that entire feature. I hate it. I hate licenses. It's so dumb.
Good Lord.
But it's paced quite nicely. Every time I felt like I was getting kind of bored with the series I was on, I'd unlocked a new one. The unlocking process is weird, though. So it's not so much... Well, it isn't actually about winning races. Each event you partake in has like 3 challenges.
Yeah.
So sometimes the challenges will be aligned with what winning the race is. It will be like overtake this many opponents or set the fastest lap or win the race sometimes. And it's like, usually if you're winning the race, you are generally setting the fastest lap. So it's stuff you don't really have to think about. But every now and then there's some dumb ones. There's like, you have to draft or sit in the slipstream of an opponent for 8 seconds and then overtake them. It's like,
oh wow,
why? Like I could just overtake them.
Do an entire lap in reverse. Like why?
I mean, it's close to that. Sometimes it's like you need to overtake this many cars in a like 30-second window, and it's like, okay. But what?
Like I'm already first.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. It's like or perform 6 clean overtakes in a row. It's like, okay, so I missed one, so I broke my streak. Now I'm in first. What must I do? Just slow down and wait. Man. So it's like some of those challenges feel super counterintuitive to like just wanting to win a race. But I never felt like I needed to complete enough of them to unlock a next series that I was like having to trudge through like old events and be like, oh, I really don't want to do this series. I really don't want to do this event just to unlock, new ones. So there's a lot. There's so many. There's 10 tiers of cars, and each tier has 4 series, and each series has 4 races. So it's 16 times 10. That's like 160 events.
Room. Yeah, that's a lot of room. Basically,
it's a lot of room. Race? It depends. It can be a few laps. Sometimes the longest ones are actually these point-to-point sprints on the road. Like these races can last like 8 to 9 minutes, which brings up probably my most the most irritating piece of the game is it doesn't have a rewind feature, which bugs the shit out of me. Like Forza's had it for years. It was introduced, as far as I know, with Grid back in the day. It was the defining feature of Grid. It's like press a button and rewind like 5 seconds to, correct a bad corner or something like that. Yeah. And I just find that, a lot of racing games adopted it because it prevented that thing of like you have been winning the race for like 2 laps and you fuck up a corner and now you lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think there's an argument to be made, like, sure, that keeps the tension up, but man, to restart an 8-minute race.
And yeah, it must be very frustrating.
It's so frustrating. And like not having that here is just, it makes no sense to me. Absolutely. Like, it makes no sense that this game would adopt so many of the things that, Forza has popularized and Gran Turismo has popularized and then just forget that. Like
the one, yeah.
Makes no sense.
And even just in that argument, like, because my first thought was like, yeah, but then, real life racing doesn't have the rewind feature. But then, you know what? It's player choice. If you don't want to use the rewind feature, then don't use it.
Exactly. I mean, Forza has it there, and it doesn't penalize you, but like with each assist that you turn off, your multiplier for experience in the race increases. So like if you turn off the rewind feature, you earn more experience or credits or whatever. And
incentivized to like not use it.
And Project Cars 3 does the same. Like you can turn off traction control and stability control and ABS brakes and whatever, and that all, you can tune the experience to how you like it. So you can turn on all the assists to, braking assistance and steering assistance and race that way. Or like a middle ground like me is I keep ABS on and I keep traction control on because I do not understand. Well, I understand how they work, but like I don't like having to race, and think about those things. Like, so to just not have it as an option at all feels super strange. And it's just really irritating. So yeah, but otherwise it's fun. Like the cars are all nice. It's got a good sense of speed. There's some weird visual bugs in that game.
What are you playing on?
PS4.
PS4.
Like the cars look really nice, but the lighting on the tracks looks kind of flat. It doesn't look like super impressive.
That's weird. I find not every racing game, but a lot of them, it's like the cars will be the most photorealistic thing in the world, and then everything else doesn't
look that great. Yeah, I think Forza really nails a good balance between the two.
Forza looks pretty like everything.
And the recent Formula One games, I mean, they have far fewer tracks to worry about, but like when you go to a track like Monaco, which is in an actual city, it looks pretty great. You know what I mean? Project Cars 3, when it's raining, it looks really good. The rain effects and the water that like builds up on tracks and the lights, that looks really great. But when it's like a clear day just in the sun, I don't know, the tracks and the surfaces, they just look so flat and like lifeless. It's and then you've got these like really good looking cars there, so it's just like the contrast is very stark.
Is it very Tony Stark?
Get out of here.
Okay. I'm just checking.
Just leave. I quit this podcast.
Oh, thank God. Unrelated. I'm looking for a new co-host.
But yeah, it's like a good game, you know, and there's fewer and fewer good racing games coming out now. So yeah, it's disappointing if you're looking for a sim, but if, you know, someone like me who likes the good middle ground between like a sim and a fun racing game, it hit those chords. It's just like it's not a Forza. That's all I can really say. You know, in a world where Forza Motorsport and Horizon exist, it's very hard for other games to like feel like they make an impact. But that doesn't mean they're bad. And Project Cars 3 is not bad. It's just it's good. Yeah.
I think the only impression from me based on what you said is that if you are a Project Cars fan, like a hardcore fan, you might be disappointed that it's not the intense sim that you expect. You know?
I mean, even if you turn off all the assists, it's not the same experience.
Yeah.
It's still the handling model, the way the cars move. It is definitely got arcade racing in mind.
Which isn't a bad thing, but I mean, if you've made your franchise to be one way, then you go to complete opposites in your next installation. It's a bit like
it's a bit weird. It's I mean, this is why so many franchises differentiate between the two. You've got Dirt, which is like the core series, and it's still like rally, but it's more arcadey. And then you've got Dirt Rally, which is like hardcore simulation rally.
Who names these games though?
You've got Gran Turismo, you've got Gran Turismo Sport, which are the two differentiators. Didn't you fly overseas to play Gran Turismo Sport?
I did.
That game's good. That game's really good.
GT Sport, I played. I don't know what's happened. Like Gran Turismo is such a weird game to follow because it feels like, is the game out? Is it like the half edition just so people get a feel for what's to come? I
remember Sport. You saw it, and then it still took like a year and a bit to come out. Exactly, it got delayed so many times. It's a great game. I played it, and I mean PSVR is not the best for that, but it works with PSVR, and it's hard. It's a good looking game.
It's hard.
It's
Gran Turismo though. Like racing games in general, it's the sort of thing I grew up playing and I really enjoyed. But I haven't, like, I've never been compelled to go out and buy a racing game. Like which is interesting because I do actually enjoy them. Like I do enjoy. It's the same thing with doing a platform or anything where you learn to get better and you optimize and you learn to do corners better, for example. But yeah, I must say, like, the last time I actually put time into a racing game, I mean, I suppose Trackmania is like a recent example, but even that, like, I played a fair bit, but I'm not like putting in dozens upon hundreds of hours into this game, which you can because you can get really lost in them. Which
I would 100% recommend, because it's on Game Pass as well, the Forza Horizon series. Yeah. Like Motorsport's fine, but Horizon,
I think Horizon's
so good. Like
awesomeness,
it really is just like open world racing, just really. And to me, the best one is Forza Horizon 3, which isn't the most recent one, and they delisting that. So I don't know if that's going to be off of Game Pass, or I know they're taking it off sale. So like, if that's on Game Pass, I would 100% recommend downloading that, because that game is like near a 10 for me.
Does it slap?
In terms of racing? It's fucking amazing. It's so good.
Where was that one set?
3's
Outback, right? It's Australia.
Yeah, 3 is Australia. Yeah, 3 is Australia. 4 is more like London, or not London, like English countryside, which is fine. I'm not super sold on the season system in 4, because like
it just looks pretty. That's
it looks pretty, but man, when it's like winter and everything's slippery, I just want to put that game away for a week. I just like
a week.
Yeah, because that's the cycle of the seasons. I'm just like, well, I'm not playing Forza Horizon this week.
Does it just change every week?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Just like, fuck this. I refuse, because I hate the winter season. So, yeah,
just like real
great
life.
Games. Yeah, exactly.
Just like real life. So you haven't you haven't gone back to like Spiritfarer or anything else?
No, I'm very keen to get back into Spiritfarer this weekend, and more Andromeda, which I think I'm close to finishing.
Nice.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. What you been playing?
What I've been playing, I haven't really steered off what I've been playing the last few weeks. So I'm still busy doing bits and pieces in Spider-Man. You've told me I'm very close to the end, so
yeah.
I will talk about that when I'm actually finished. But yeah, my campaign progress is like 85%, something there. So not much time left in that. Super Paper Mario Origami King, again playing bits and pieces. I need to sit and actually pour time into that game, because I really do enjoy it. Like,
I feel like you say this every week.
Every week, I know, but it's just the weeks have just been crazy. I haven't had the opportunity to put like long stretches of time into it. But yeah, this week I finished PogoStuck.
Yes, the big achievement.
A good 23 hours of grinding that game. It's such a funny thing to, if you put it into context or put it up against other games, it's like I could have finished 3 other 8-hour campaign games.
23 hours is a long time. That's like 2 Bloodborne campaigns.
Yeah. Okay. I could have done like, Bloodborne? No. I suppose if you're speedrunning. Not speedrunning, but if you know the game well and you know where to go. It's a lot
not
quicker,
the first time, yeah.
But when you finish the game and you actually go back and you see people do speedruns, or just if you're really good at it, that map takes like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, you said the world record's like 5 minutes or something like that.
The world record's like under 4 minutes or something like that. That's
crazy. And it took you 20 hours. That just shows you.
Yeah, 23 hours, which is just insane. But yeah, it's one of those things where I think I've already mentioned this before. The second stream I played it to like 6 hours in, at like the 8-hour mark, I really had a moment of like, I don't know if I can commit to this. Like, I'm stuck on this one part. I was stuck on one part for a good 5 to 6 hours.
Yeah, you made like 0.5% progress.
Yeah, like no progress. And I was like, am I actually going to be able to do whatever comes after this?
And
it was a thing of like, I'm not going to come back to this game. And I slept on it and I was like, I'll just give it one more try, whatever.
And I'm really glad I did,
because and I'm glad I did, because the game's genuinely very good. Like I've said before, the mechanics are solid. There's been a lot of thought and I think Q&A into getting those platforms and the timings like just right. It's just notoriously difficult. Like it's designed to be a big slap in the face and to like punish you hectically. If you have one misjump, like you fall back down, you have to climb all the way back up.
It sounds difficult, but not like bullshit. It's like a
not
Kaiser
unfair.
game.
Like I can tell you, it's like nothing comes to mind where I'm like, well, that's just an unfair error. Like it's pure luck to get over there, or I need, I don't know, the gods to grace me with some graciousness to get over here.
Some gravity.
So yeah, so in that regard, like the game is just really solid, and I enjoyed it. It's like I look back on it, and it is probably one of my funnest games I've played on stream, because I think especially watching is like where it's almost like have you driven with someone where maybe they brake too late, whatever, and you almost have your foot on an imaginary brake. But you know what I mean? If you drive,
you're sitting in the passenger seat and you're hitting the air.
Oh my god, brake! I think that's what it's like watching this game, because you just like, oh no, don't jump too far. You're going too far. Oh shit!
That's what I've experience just watching some of your VODs that you put up on Twitter. I'm just like, Matty.
You're like, no.
I can see what you were thinking. I'm just like, don't do it, man.
But then it's a thing of like, even I've watched other people play it, and when they're executing it perfectly, I'm still like, ooh, like shit, this is hectic to watch. And I think that's why people enjoyed watching it so much.
There was the one video you put up this week where you did like an alternating wall jump, which looked friggin' cool. It was just like
alternating.
It was like you were bouncing between like a wall jump. It looked so cool.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the game's got these solid mechanics where there's been intentional thought into like, this is okay, like here's how the pogo stick mechanic works. How can I turn this into interesting platforming? And like that's one of the techniques you have to learn. It's like, how do you climb up a wall with your pogo stick?
It looked so precise. It really looked incredible.
I mean, and again, like that's why I really enjoyed these games, because as punishing as when I do finish them or figure out how to play them, I'm like, yeah, this is a good time. I mean,
you said there's a sequel, isn't there?
No, so the same game. So the game I finished now, well, the map I finished was the whole game initially. Like there was just the one map, whatever.
Okay.
But the developer added a new map in June, so there's a second map.
Okay.
Which
are you going to undertake it?
Not immediately. I need a break. But it is like much harder.
Okay.
I've seen. Well, I haven't seen. I've seen. I haven't seen the actual map gameplay, but I've seen times and discussions about it, and I know it's harder. I'm like, but I've just perfected this game. Well, not perfected, but I've just become good at this game. I don't want to have it harder.
Are you going to try get through this map again just to see how quickly you can do it?
Yeah. I was just gonna say when I finished the map the first time, just for interest's sake, I told my viewers like, let's see how quick I can get back to the part I was struggling on, and like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. I was there.
That's
already.
amazing.
Just because you rinse and repeat so often, you learn exactly how to do those jumps.
But that must feel so good. It's like returning to like early areas in a Souls game, and you're just like wiping the floor with people who were like, you were scared of them. You're just like, you have no power over me anymore.
It's the same. I think it's the same in Celeste, for example, where you'll go back to early levels purely because you're like, I need strawberries. And then you think about all those times not all the times, but all the time you spent like getting through a level. I mean, the first playthrough of Celeste takes like 7 to 8 hours, let's say, maybe more. You can go through those levels so quickly once you've done that.
So much quicker,
you just get so used to the mechanics, and that's, I don't know, I really
enjoy
flying.
Like you said, when I was going back hunting the strawberries, at least the first 3 like worlds, I was flying through them, like absolutely no challenge at all. Yeah. Some of the worlds in Celeste are still bullshit though. Those little bubbles that put you. I hate those things so much.
So good.
So yeah, such a good game.
PogoStuck, really good game, and it's funny because I don't know where the stat comes from, but several of my friends have said like only 1.5% of people who start PogoStuck actually finish the level.
That's wild.
Like,
that's absolutely
I'm one
wild.
of them. I'm one of the stupid people who grinded out the 20 plus hours to do that, but it was worth it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd have the patience for that personally. So I applaud you, because that is incredible.
It's interesting though, because since I finished the game, two more of my friends have now picked it up, and they're busy racing against each other. Like, hey, I'm at 10.1%.
Let me guess, it's Chella and John Michael.
No, they're actually the only 2 people who have no desire to play the game.
What?
They're like,
okay,
no.
Damn.
But they also now get it. They're like, oh, like it's hard, but it's really addictive. Like it feels good and it's fun, you know.
That's the hallmark of a very well balanced platform, in my view. Just enough frustration to show that it's challenging, but enough reward when you overcome that challenge to make you want to like push forward. And that's like you said, that isn't made by accident. That's a lot of very clever design goes into that. Yeah.
Because I sit and I think, I mean, to QA a game like Celeste or PogoStuck, like, it must be dozens upon hundreds of hours, just like, hey, move that platform 1 pixel to the left. Okay, let's try again. It doesn't feel right. Move it up 1, whatever. It's like,
and like the design of a level, as soon as you mess with one element, you mess with the flow of that, you know, especially in Celeste, it's like rooms. It's, that's a whole new level of design that I admire.
So yeah, that's PogoStuck finally done. I'll get back to map 2 at some stage. Like Chilla pointed out, I should play it pretty soon while the game's fresh, and I still have I
think relearning that muscle memory would be frustrating. Yeah.
No, but what's cool now is that it's a sort of game where I feel I could very easily pick it up and do the first map. Look, I need to work on the last bit of the map because there's a reason I took hours to finish it. But the first 70-80%, like I can do pretty flawlessly now. So it's 100% something I can just pick up. Like I'm gonna finish this quickly, like 10 minutes later, whatever. So we'll see.
I'm like tempted to give it a go, but also I'm just like
it's so cheap. Do it.
I'll see. I'll give it a think.
Give it a think. That's all we've been playing this
games. Week. Yeah. There's a lot of news to get through, so not a bad thing that we have only 2 games to talk about. So should we jump into releases and then into that news? Cool. So we're looking at game releases between today, which is 29th of August, and my God, can you believe it? 4th of September. My goodness.
Can you believe it? Oh,
can you believe? Yeah. There's quite a few games. Well, yeah, there's some games. There's some
stuff.
So September 1st, Crusader Kings 3 coming to PC. I've never played a Crusader Kings, but a lot of people like them.
So. Nice, man.
Iron Harvest also coming to PC on September 1st. I think that's a strategy game. Maybe like a World War II strategy game? I don't know. I'm guessing.
Didn't know.
Ari and the Secret of the Seasons, PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, September 1st. Haven't heard about that. On September 3rd, Spellbreak. This was shown off during the Gamescom opening night live. It had that very cool, it had like an anime guitar trailer to it. It looked fun. That's out on September 3rd, PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. WRC, which is World Rally Championship, I think. So WRC 9.
Is it World Rally Championship or World Rally Championship Dirt, the hardcore edition?
The hardcore edition. You've got to that's in the colon there. I left it out.
Damn it.
That's PC, PS4, Xbox One on September 3rd. And then the trio of big releases of the week. We've got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remaster. PC, PS4, Xbox One, September 4th. I actually played that warehouse demo this week. The game's hot.
It's good.
Game's hot. No, it's good. It's hot. It's hot. It's man, I do not remember how to play those games. I need to get back into them because man, I was having a great time in that little demo. It was really fun. Also on September 4th, we've got NBA 2K21, which is real weird in light of events this week. The NBA, all the players protested and striked as well. Again. They refused to play in light of the shooting of another man by police in America, because that place is just fucking crazy at the moment. It's
Wild West.
Yeah, so props to the players. I think there was a baseball game where the players also just walked off. Yeah, props to them, honestly. People should not be thinking things are going back to normal when things are clearly not normal. So, yeah. But that's out on September 4th. PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Stadia. The big question mark release of this week to me is Marvel's Avengers. PC, PS4, Xbox One, Stadia, September 4th. Man, when I played this beta, this game seemed like it should be months away. It blows my mind that it's out this
coming
week.
Out. I didn't think it was that bad, but I can understand the concerns of I don't know how it's going to review. I really don't know.
There was news yesterday
Just shake your head.
That all post-launch characters are going to be free.
Yeah.
How they integrate into a story is still to be seen, whatever. But each individual character will have a $10 battle pass.
That's a lot of
get the fuck out of here.
Cash monies. Shit. Well, what's the battle pass for? Just
it's
to
for
get
cosmetics.
Skins and stuff.
Yeah. Because hey, all the loot you get in the game doesn't show up on your character. You have to get cosmetic items to check.
Of course, man. Why are you acting shocked?
for each individual character.
I mean, it's only like 8 characters more. I mean,
No,
it's
it's
like
15.
15. Oh my god!
Fuck off.
How many Avengers are there?
So many.
Shit.
Too many.
So many Avengers.
Too many.
Jeez, like.
That's game
else?
releases.
That's game releases. Okay, should we get to news?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let me tell you, I did not watch the Gamescom showcase because I was streaming at the time.
Oh right, yeah.
So
I
we're gonna
watched
have to recap.
all 2.5 hours of that thing.
Was it 2.5 hours?
Yep.
Sure, that's a long showcase.
It was a very long showcase. It was. I mean, I'm not going to complain because it was a fun showcase. Like I think Jeff Keighley pulled off a really fun show. And there was a lot of good stuff there. I mean, he did say beforehand that yes, this is going to be a lot of news about games that have been already revealed. Not many big megaton drops, but there was stuff there that I still thought was quite like noteworthy and big. So let's just go through it. I guess this is part of news this week as well, but Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War got officially revealed with its first trailer. The event in game was actually kind of cool. I watched Dave Jewett of GameSpot play through it. It was kind of like well structured. So the game is going to be a direct sequel to the very first Black Ops. It's set in the 1980s and is inspired by real events. The hunt for this like Russian sleeper agent in America called Perseus.
Perseus.
Looks cool. A lot of criticism being thrown around about, Ronald Reagan being a core figure in the game, because of his political views at the time. So yeah, definitely, a lot of good conversation happening around that. But the game looks pretty fun. I'm a fan of the Black Ops franchise, and I like the original Black Ops, so I'm keen for this. So
it was a good trailer as well.
Yeah, it was a good trailer. I think it looks really, really good. And I think the most interesting thing is that the single player is being developed by Raven, not Treyarch. This is their first like single player game in like 10 years, and it really shows why there are some missions that seem very different for Call of Duty. Some missions have been described as almost like Hitman levels, where there's branching paths, lots of stealth. You're going to have branching narratives as well, so you're going to make choices which will affect your endings. So yeah,
that's pretty
keen
cool
to see that. It's out on November 13th, which definitely seems to be an important date. Assassin's Creed is out that day. Call of Duty is out that day. Cyberpunk is out earlier that week.
Interesting. What could it mean?
That's all I'm saying. We got a good look at the first story DLC for Doom called The Ancient Gods.
Doom.
Apparently it takes place in heaven. I still need to play Doom Eternal, so this is like, I'm like, heaven? So like, when did that happen?
What?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Doom is wild. Okay,
I've heard the story in Eternal is crazy.
It's crazy. That game is just like straight up action in your face, and it's a good time.
In your face action. Love it. So this is the first part of, I assume, a bigger story. What's also weird is that it's going to be standalone, so you don't need Doom Eternal to play this DLC. Which I'm like, at what point it's like, why would you do that?
Okay.
But okay. Yeah.
Cool.
The one thing that stood out to me is that, the big addition in Eternal was the grappling hook on the super shotgun. This one lets you, it looks like move like sideways or horizontally. So it's not just like click on a point and go towards it. You can kind of like click on a point and then move parallel to that point, which looks kind of cool.
Oh, okay, I need to watch that trailer.
Yeah, it's a good trailer.
God damn.
We've got like a developer diary on Dragon Age 4.
Look, it's fine that they show that, but I always just laugh at the footage they show because it's like real rough. It's like, we're working on this. It was like such an interesting showcase because it really was just developers talking.
Yeah. It was just
describing like every RPG ever made.
I feel like BioWare does this more often than most developers, and it's cool to see like the gray box test environments that they use and whatever. But like, it's also just like, why show anything at all this early?
No, that's the thing. So John Mark and I were busy talking about that. And we always, the yardstick of WTF reveals, we always go back to is the new Elder Scrolls getting a JPEG and a logo. Okay.
God.
And it's funny because, like, although this is a whole lot of developers talking, whatever, it's actually pretty much the same thing. Like, we see the gray boxes and that, which is, it's cool, but it's not anything indicative of the final product. And then they end off the trailer, the talk, whatever, with a website. Have you been to that website?
Yeah.
It's literally like Dragon Age, sign up for newsletters. It's like, wow. Okay,
you're like,
dude.
Gee,
like,
thanks.
Cool, thanks. This
that's
is
awesome.
the best
Can't
review
wait.
of my life. Yeah. So look, no, I don't mean no harm against it. I've never played a Dragon Age in my life. But I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they put it out there just to like, we are still working on this. Don't worry. You know what I mean? But like coming back to Elder Scrolls, Pete Hines was on stage at Gamescom yesterday, and he was like, "Not going to answer questions about Starfield because that game's still far away. But we think it'll be worth the wait." And it's like that game has been kicking around for like 6 years now, and Starfield is meant to come out before Elder Scrolls 6. Like, why the fuck was that revealed? Like, why? Like, Elder Scrolls must be still easily 5-6 years away. Like, I don't get it. It's
crazy.
I just
they
do
could have
not
just.
get
I mean,
it.
I get the thing. It's like it's showing fans like we are working on this, but it's too early.
But man, it's way too early. I think, like if you're gonna come on stage and be like, I'm not gonna answer questions about this game, it's still coming. Like, you shouldn't have revealed it then. Like,
but that's the thing. You created the expectation.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's honestly better to not say you're working on the game because then there's no expectation. Like people go, "Oh, I wish they'd make an Elder Scrolls 6." Now it's like they're making Elder Scrolls 6. Why is it taking so long?
It's like Elden Ring got revealed, and everyone keeps waiting for Elden Ring, and it's just like disappointment after disappointment.
Okay, what's the difference here? When was Elden Ring revealed? It was like last year, right?
No, it was 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah. It was E3 2 years ago.
It's
been time.
Oh my god! Because in my head, I'm like, guys, this game was revealed last year.
No,
just wait. There's no rush. Just wait for it.
It was revealed 2 years ago and has had nothing said since.
Shit! I've lost a year of my life somehow. I really thought that it was revealed last year.
Let me just check for
Elden
my
Ring
sanity.
reveal.
I'm pretty sure it was 2018.
Elden Ring.
Oh, I'm wrong. Sorry, it was 2019.
It was last year. Okay, so I'm not mad. Okay, so it was.
Still, it's been over a year.
It's been over a year, but it's not like Elder Scrolls JPEG level, which was like 3 years ago now, and we've heard nothing else.
Fair enough.
So people are like, yeah, here's this reveal. Show us more. I'm like, guys, it's coming. Just let them be.
There was news this week that Elden Ring fans have gotten so sick of waiting that they've started making their own game, which is so funny to me because, in a way, I'm like, good on you.
That's so funny.
You're taking the anger of waiting and putting it into something productive, I guess, but
I just don't know what the thought process is there. It's like, I'm so angry. I'm just going to make this. I'm going to make my own game.
I'm so mad.
Shit. That's amazing.
Oh, God.
Okay, what else is there?
So we got a very long, cinematic for World of Warcraft Shadowlands. The lore of that game keeps fascinating me, but man, I just will never play that. Like,
it's too late to get into it now.
It's too much. Yeah.
I almost need Blizzard to reboot with another MMO, so I can be like, cool. Let me jump on here at the beginning, so I can understand what the hell's going on. Because imagine you and I now say like, oh, World of Warcraft, wow, heard it's really good. Let's pick it up and play it. Where do we jump into the story? Like, at what point? Like, is it possible? I suppose it is, but then you miss out so many expansions. You might miss some of the backstory of some characters and some.
But it's also like,
really
I just don't like playing WoW. So it's like, I wish there was like a movie version that wasn't shit that I could just watch, you know?
I suppose you could just watch all the cinematics. Yeah. Go to YouTube. It's like World of Warcraft, the movie, all cinematics, like 45 hours long, whatever that is. Watch it like a series.
We got another trailer for Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time.
It's about time.
They showed off what they called flashback tape levels, which looked like very difficult puzzle themed levels. Which are meant to document the early days of Crash and when Cortex was experimenting on him. So that looks cool.
Goddamn.
That game keeps looking incredible. I absolutely cannot wait for that game.
Finally, your time has come.
Yeah, finally. God, it's been...
Finally. All these years.
We got to look at a single-player mission for Star Wars Squadrons, which also keeps looking really good. I really like the look of this game. I'm keen to play it in VR. I'm stoked to give it a try.
Is going to kill you.
No ways. I will vomit and carry on playing. I'm not a coward.
This game's so good.
We also got another look at Mafia Definitive Edition, which is actually out end of September. I never played the original Mafia, but I'm stoked to try this because it looks like a cool, mobster Godfather story. And it just looks beautiful. Like this is a remake, ground up remake. It is really, really striking visually. Yeah. So, yeah, stoked for that. Did you see Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga?
I have not watched the trailer yet.
So it's a gameplay trailer. So what the Skywalker Saga is like all 9 movies.
Shit.
Which is crazy, but
look at that
it's
pod
also
racing.
Yeah, it's like a big reinvention of the Lego gameplay. There's like cover-based shooting. There's far more, I think, involved lightsaber fights. It looks really good. And when I was at E3 last year, everyone who got to play it came away going, "Wow, this is so much more than a Lego game suggests it's going to be." So I'm stoked for this, like extremely excited.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate how pretty it looks?
Yeah, it looks stunning.
Hell.
Yeah,
this is ridiculous.
The fight with Rey and Ren in that on that the crash piece of the Death Star from Rise of Skywalker looks
look at
amazing.
All these reflections. This is an RTX showpiece. Who would have thought?
I'm just really bleak that it has been delayed from the end of this year until spring 2021, which is like a year away.
But I mean, if you think it's 9 movies,
I'm just like, I want to play this now.
But look, the thing with Lego games, they are really good. Like I think across the board they've been pretty good, but I think that formula needed some reinvention.
It needed a spruce up, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm quite keen to see how this turns out. It looks really good. Like I'm only skimming through the trailer now, and shit, it looks pretty.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this. You also get to see Rey with a yellow lightsaber. Pretty cool.
Spoiler. It's Rey Mysterio.
Spoiler alert. Rey Mysterio. God. We're going to look at Fall Guys Season 2, which was hyped up a lot for a very short trailer, but...
Yeah. It gave a little tease of some stuff.
It's going to be medieval themed, so you've got medieval costumes. And that kind of like feeds into some of the new stages they briefly showed off. So yeah, keen for that. Apparently season 2 will be free. So all this content's going to be free. So cool.
How nice of these guys.
Respawn Entertainment, the dudes who made one of the best shooters of all time, Titanfall 2. What a great game.
Apex, yeah. Cool. What about them?
They showed off Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, which is a...
is that their game?
Yeah, it's a VR game that's going to be on Rift and Oculus Quest.
I saw that, yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I can't believe the Medal of Honor name still exists.
Yeah, that it's back.
I saw that. I was like, wow. That is
Everyone
like
got excited. They thought it was like a new, Call of Duty first-person shooter type thing. Not today, fam.
Well, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they tackle VR. I don't know. Have they had any other VR games?
Respawn. I think this is their first one.
I'm skimming through the trailer now. It also looks really cool.
Imagine playing the the time skipping level from Titanfall in VR. Talk about vomiting in VR.
You'll just die.
Yeah, your pure brain would just like, yeah, no.
Just explode.
Got another look at Destiny 2 Beyond Light, which cool. Yeah, I'll probably pick up Destiny again when this comes out, especially since it'll be on Game Pass. So, and the expansion will be on Game Pass. So yeah, I mean,
goddamn,
no reason not to give that a go. Also going to be updated on Series X and PS5 for 60 FPS finally on console, because like that's the reason I moved over to PC, because it just feels so much better when it's higher than 30 frames per second. So yeah, game is also mad pretty. Very good game. I think then the biggest thing at the show obviously was an extended demo of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. So same demo that they showed off during the PlayStation 5 reveal, but this time without any like cuts. So it was much longer,
so it actually showed
seamless. Yeah, that game still looks so impressive. Like really, really good.
I mean, that's a good showcase piece for the tech, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the SSD stuff. I mean, the whole like Rift tether thing, like where you shoot like almost like a portal in front of you, and then Ratchet like yanks it towards him, and it almost looks like it reloads part of the level, so you like teleport there. It's a really cool effect. And then just, jumping through the rifts into whole new worlds without real loading is a real like, hey, look, we have an SSD type of moment.
Is that a launch title? No.
It also just looks beautiful. Like I think did you ever play the remake on PS4?
No, but I've seen gameplay. It's
Did
like
I lose Matthew?
Oh no, have you lost me?
Matthew's muted. I don't know what happened.
Am I muted still?
Oh my god, now you're back.
That's so weird.
That's going to be weird, because on Audacity I don't think you're muted. You just muted on Discord.
I was busy saying like, hello. I don't know why I'd muted. I was saying, is that a launch title?
So they said it's releasing during the PS5's launch window. And that, I don't know what that means. Like, does launch window mean within 3 months of the console's launch, within the first year? Like, launch window could mean a wide variety of things. So, yeah, I don't know. That's vague.
At least the first 6 months.
Yeah,
surely the first
I
6
would
months.
be shocked. Like, I mean, it's not impossible, but Insomniac was also working on Miles Morales. So for them to put out 2 games in 3 months
2 games,
is like,
yeah, holy heck,
yeah.
damn.
I never heard your answer. Did you play the remake?
Oh no. So I was saying I've seen footage of it. I've never actually played it. I do have it on PlayStation. There's a lot of stuff I should play. Oh my gosh.
It's real good. What's cool is that they announced yesterday that there will be a 4K 30 and a quote-unquote lower resolution 60 FPS mode. Because the remake was 30 FPS. It was a solid 30 FPS, but it, game looks like it deserves a higher frame rate. So yeah, that's cool.
Damn,
I'm super stoked for this game. It's probably my most anticipated PS5 title. I love Ratchet and Clank.
Really pretty.
Yeah, really, really love Ratchet and Clank. So that was all the big news from Opening Night Live. I'm just gonna look at some other news during the week. Epic and Apple still fighting each other.
Shocker.
Yeah.
I don't know if we covered it last week. Which is happening over the weekend, but DC Fandom happened. Did we talk about the reveals?
I remember us mentioning that it was happening like before, after we recorded. So I guess the 2 games that came out of that.
Gotham Knights.
That's the Warner Brothers Montreal.
I always get them confused.
Is working on that, yeah. So I think the cool thing there is Batman's dead.
Is Batman really dead?
I don't know.
Is he actually dead?
I can see. I mean, this is not my theory. I've seen this theory floating around now, but like, the Court of Owls are the big bads in this game. So the assumption is like Batman faked his death so that he could hunt them without them knowing that he's hunting them. And I'm like, yeah, that seems very likely to me.
So for those of you who don't know, Gotham Knights, the trailer is literally Batman saying like, I'm dead.
Yeah, peace out, homies.
Everyone else, all of you have to take up the mantle, and this message is addressed to, is it Nightwing, Robin?
Yeah. Two more. You got it.
Is it Red Hood?
Yeah. One more. You got it.
Is it Batgirl? Batwoman? Batgirl?
Batgirl. Yes, Batgirl.
Okay.
There's definitely a difference between Batwoman and Batgirl. Just saying.
No, but that's why I was like, I don't actually know who it is.
But yeah, Batgirl.
So it looks really cool because I love the Batman games, and if you get to play the game as these other 4 heroes, that's cool. Like, and it's been when did Arkham Knight come out? I mean, that was
2015.
I mean, that's 5 years ago. This is coming out. Is there a release date for this? I don't know.
They said 2021.
2021. I mean, 6 years. That's a long time.
This isn't even the same developer.
No. But I mean, it's a long time for a Batman game per se.
Yes,
and I think they will definitely take some inspiration from those other Batman games. I mean,
for sure.
From what we saw in the trailer, it's the same sort of action, but I mean, that doesn't mean it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But points I'm getting at though is that I don't think Batman's dead.
I don't think Batman's dead. No,
I think you'll get to play as these 4 characters, and then Batman will be like a surprise reveal or something, like a playable character. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe.
I think what's interesting is that it is 4 playable characters. But you can only do max 2-player co-op. 2 players, so you will be able to co-op the game. It's not. They've come out and said it's not a live service game. It's just a narrative game that happens to have 2-player co-op. And what I could glean from the 8-minute gameplay demo, aside from it looking like absolutely beautiful, was it looks like it's got a very distinct, like, Assassin's Creed RPG vibe to it, like numbers flying off people. There seems to be this idea of loot, which is a big departure from the other Batman games, which was more like free-flowing combat system that didn't depend on stats. Yeah. So I'm interested to see how they've adapted this, but the combat looked really good. And I'm just kind of like curious to play as other characters, because like Batgirl looks like she plays completely differently to Red Hood, who has actual guns and shoots people. So yeah, I'm keen. I'm actually very. The one thing they did say is that this game does not exist within the Arkham universe. It's an entirely new universe that they're kicking off. So
it's a lot of universes to keep track of.
The one game that does exist in the Arkham universe is Rocksteady's next game, which is definitely Suicide Squad, as it was rumored. It's called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Yep.
No gameplay.
I was going to say, we didn't get any gameplay. We got a really cool trailer.
Yeah, actually a very, like I was already down in this game just from it being described as like a games as a service thing. But man, that trailer was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought it set the tone quite nicely as well, where it's Harley Quinn, Boomerang. I don't know who the other two. What's the other one? This. No, don't put me on the spot. I can't remember the guy who's accurate.
Deadshot? No. Yes.
Yes.
Got one more.
Shark Man.
King Shark.
I don't know what his name is.
He's cool. I like that you get to just play as a shark humanoid. That seems fun.
I just like the tone where they're like, oh, it's Superman, and then Superman just melts.
Oh, he just lasers that dude in the face.
And it's like, oh shit, Superman's bad.
Yeah. So, also, like, I mean, it wasn't gameplay, but I got mad Sunset Overdrive vibes.
Yeah, you actually said that, and I was like, yeah, that does come across.
And I'm just like, man, if you get to fly around a city or like run around a city as like Harley Quinn, where she's like doing weird acrobatic things and like skating on, I don't know, just that kind of like free flow movement, I'm in, like straight away I'm in, because that was the best part of Sunset Overdrive.
God damn.
That's only out in 2022.
No.
Which doesn't sound like a real year.
It's not a real year. It's fake news, 2022.
Will the Earth still be around then? Who knows?
Oh my gosh, who knows?
If it is, we'll have a Suicide Squad game.
No, but I do think that those were 2 pretty strong games to come out of that. And it's just good timing, I guess, because like at the moment we do have Marvel, Spider-Man, Miles Morales. We've got the Avengers game coming, and like I always feel that DC is almost like the forgotten sibling in the whole comic book thing, because it just feels like Marvel's been getting the movies right in their cinematic universe, But DC has a strong lineup of superheroes as well, and they're really cool. And I hope the game holds up. Well, the two games hold up.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm like keen for both. So yeah. Okay, it's
Will we
flies
see
through
the Joker in both?
Oh God.
Two different versions of the Joker. How much?
Well, it's two different universes, so.
But will we see the Joker in both? Place your bets now.
Maybe.
Our rate we'll definitely see in both games. We'll see.
Okay. Other small quick news. Hitman 3. It's out January 20th, and you'll get a free next gen upgrade if you purchase the digital version. Not offered. Well, it's weird. They don't specifically mention not the physical version, but they also don't really mention whether a physical version exists. So I don't know.
Okay.
I think the jab at them saying, yeah, it's free and whatever is more to do with the confusing situation with Call of Duty Cold War, because that won't have a free upgrade. You can pay for an upgrade. You can pay $10 and get the cross-gen version. Also, the next-gen version is $70 irrespective. So get used to that price hike on your games, I think, because I'm pretty sure that's coming. There's some fucking weird permutations going on with who's eligible for the upgrades on the physical version of that game. My opinion, don't even look at that. Just get digital if you can. Like, it is so messy. It's so... Next gen is so, like, with this, like, cross-gen stuff, physical seems to be the wrong way to go. So just try and avoid it where you can. Sims 4 is getting a Star Wars expansion. That looks pretty cool.
Sims 4.
Oh, some other small things from Gamescom. Little Nightmares 2 is coming out in February. I need to play the first one because that game looks spooky as hell and looks really good.
Spooky.
A game I've been waiting for 12 minutes. It's like a time looping crime thriller. They announced
looks real good.
The like cast. It's gonna have James McAvoy, who is if you've watched Wanted, or he was Professor X in the X-Men films. Then you've got Daisy Ridley, who is obviously Rey from Star Wars, and then William Dafoe, who is William Dafoe. I mean, if you don't know William Dafoe by now.
But is this an indie game?
Yeah, it's published by Annapurna.
How do they have these are like some pretty...
I remember seeing it at
stars here.
I remember seeing it at E3 last year. It was revealed during Microsoft's conference, and it was just striking. It was like this time loop of like the story plays out in 12 minutes, but like you won't see all the details in 12 minutes. It just looks really good. Now they got all these big name actors there, and
I don't understand how they pulled that off, but cool, man.
Resident Evil is getting a series on Netflix, confirmed. And it will star Wesker's kids.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's weird because I'm like, I don't know if the show will be good or bad, but like Wesker kids, where's the set? Is in the future? Is it like Wesker as a kid with a sibling? No.
So it's two of Wesker's kids, and it will jump between them being children and then the future 20 years ahead of that, where the world is basically crumbled and it's just zombies, and one of the Wesker kids is alive.
Oh, nice. Okay.
The thing that doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence is that the studio behind it is the same studio who did the films, and those films got real bad real fast.
No.
So
why?
Yeah.
I think the films are like dumb fun, but they're not at all anything like the game.
I mean,
besides like the first two.
They're dumb fun. Like, I think the first two are still like, they're trash, but they're fun. But man, then they really get trash to the point where it's like wild, difficult to watch, you know. The Witcher is getting its own Pokemon Go game called Monster Slayer, which is coming out soon. Yeah,
I missed that.
Yeah, so it's like Pokemon Go, and you've got merchants around the world that you can walk to and pick up quests and fight monsters, and
that's amazing.
Interesting. What a weird climate to launch that in.
Yeah. Wait, is it out? Or is it just announced?
It says it's coming soon, so...
Okay, so we don't know when it's out, but yeah.
What a weird climate. Yeah. Yeah, that's about it.
I don't know if I think that's it.
That's about it. That's all, folks.
That's it. We're going to get to questions. It's now the news.
Questions.
Well, there is, but
questions.
We've got a lot of questions, so let's get cracking on
I
those.
missed this. Fall Guys Portal 2 crossover confirmed.
What? That must be new.
There's a Peabody costume coming to...
Oh, no. Okay, that's not...
Oh, it's in the store now.
Wait, how did you miss that? That's old news. I thought there was something else coming.
I want that. How did I miss that? I want that. It's 10 crowns!
It's 10, dude. You got to save, man.
Fucking hell.
You got to get those 10 wins.
I want it.
Okay, let's get to questions.
If you want to send us questions, you can email us at checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com. You can also message us on all our social platforms. Checkpoint Chat on Instagram and on Twitter and on TikTok.
Bam. All the places. Let's start on email. We have so many questions to get through. I think we've got like 23 in total. If I'm counting correctly across all platforms. Okay, so Meg writes in. He says, Matthew, just to correct you, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles is not the game you played on the DS. Those games are Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Ring of Fates and Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time.
That's some Kingdom Hearts bullshit there.
Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered is the updated version of the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles on the GameCube. Okay, that clarifies, because I was very confused. I watched that trailer and I was like, I feel like I've played this, but I don't know if I have.
I don't know any of this. Absolutely no knowledge of Crystal Chronicles.
Good lord.
Are they good games? I don't know.
I enjoyed Rings of Fate.
I remember us talking about this. I think I asked whether it was like World of Final Fantasy, and you were like, I have no idea.
Nah. Okay. Next question. What food do you give to your pets every morning? I give my dog the following concoction. Dry dog food. Add in water and mix to make it wet. Add in sachet sauce, random flavor that is in the box. So lamb, beef, liver, etc. Half a handful of dry cat food. That's a cat emoji. Pieces of smoked ham, pieces of mozzarella cheese. Sometimes, if it's available, I add other pieces of meat such as chorizo, steak, sausage. Mix and serve. Damn, your dog's living like a king. If that's what he's getting, she's getting in every single meal.
Also, just to be I will be a spoil sport. You should not be giving your dog like cheese and meats like that every day. Their poor heart. Like,
good lord,
they are loving you. 100% loving you, but I think a vet would scream. They would be like, what are you doing?
I don't know if this is every day though, because it sounds like if you were to give your dog smoked ham, cheese, dry food, and other pieces of meat every single day, then yeah, that's hectic.
Yeah. All my dogs are on like a sort of like diet because they were all overweight, so they're on this like calorie watching special food. I don't know. They get food and a bit of tin food, also with a bit of water just to make like a gravy. They dig it.
My cats are snobby. They only eat dry food, like to the point where if you were to offer,
that's like the opposite of snobby.
No. Well, they're snobby in that they only eat their dry food, like they won't touch anything else. But sometimes what we've started doing recently is we've started mixing a bit of like sachet food or wet food with their biscuits. And Lupin eats anything now. I mean, he's changed. Luna's a snob though, unless it's like fancy wet food. Like she won't touch Whiskers or Pampers or whatever.
None of the store-bought shit.
None of the so you have to get like the fancy brands, like Posh Pets or something. And she's like,
goodness.
Yes, this is for me. But I mean, that's like once in a blue moon, we'll buy like a can or whatever, and we'll just mix it in over like 2-3 days. But sure, that's it.
And your cats are round.
No, Luna is round.
Luna is very round. Luna needs to get on that treadmill.
Lupin is not there. No, we went. Probably bounced. Okay, next question. What is your opinion on dead consoles that have no working ecosystem to get titles or games being made for that console, that have new leases on life by doing other functions? For example, the Wii can be used as a media center, an internet web portal access points, a metronome, etc.
A metronome? That's an interesting... I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a thing.
That's cool. I know for the longest time, a lot of people kept their Wii U because they could watch Netflix on the
screen,
the gamepad screen thing wirelessly,
that's cool.
Which was quite clever. And a lot of people did that. Yeah.
I wonder how long did that screen's battery last though?
It was pretty lengthy. Like, there's a couple of hours.
I think the Wii U just on that was like, I know it was hit or miss, but I'd still stand by Nintendo. I think it was a clever attempt at something different. Like, I think it was a good idea.
I bought the Wii U secondhand, like, I think a year before it was discontinued. So you know, I never lived through the years of disappointment waiting for like games to come out. So I just had this massive library to play, and man, fucking hits there. I mean, they're all coming to Switch and they're all being received really well. They were on the Wii U. Like, there was nothing wrong with them there. So,
but I mean, like, Zombie U was
what a game.
A good execution of that gamepad where you had to look down at your gamepad when you're digging your backpack, and I'm like, damn,
so good.
That shit was good.
Just so good.
As for the dead console thing, I don't know, because like, I mean, every modern console you have is technically a media center anyway. Like, my PS4 can, support Netflix and Amazon Video and all this stuff. So there's no need for me to like pull out my PS3, for example, and just have it on show somewhere.
The only reason to pull up PS3 now is to play Metal Gear Solid 4, because you can't play it anywhere else still.
Only Metal Gear Solid I haven't played now. Actually,
Such a good one.
And what's the PSP one?
Peace Walker.
Never played.
Which is also a very good one. Peace Walker, you can at least play. It's part of the HD collection, so you can play
Metal Gear
that.
Solid 4.
4 is just like, fuck you.
Shit.
You have a PS3? Yeah.
I mean, I do. So should make a plan one day.
It's a good. That is a good game. But yeah, I agree with you. It's just like I have old consoles, but none of them are plugged in because I'm not using them for anything really. Yeah, there was a thing that was at this week where you could mod a Wii U into like the case of a like Game Boy. So I watched a Linus Tech Tips video on it. It's been like a project for a while now. But the thing that fascinated me was, firstly, it uses an actual Wii, like graphics board or whatever. But you only need about 10% of the actual motherboard to run everything. Like, the processor and the chip and everything is on this very small confined part of the board, and you can literally cut away everything else. It's not required.
God damn.
It blew my mind
crazy,
that it was like that. Yeah, I would check that video out if you're interested. It's quite fascinating.
Have a look. God damn. Next question. How long do you keep old emails for? Days, weeks, months, years even? Now, Megs, I'm going to come out and say that I never delete emails.
Yeah, I don't delete them either.
I just mark them as read and then I'm done.
I delete my folders, like the promotions, or on Gmail where it filters, based on that, but I hardly delete emails. I'll open them also to get rid of the notifications, but I won't delete them.
My thing is that, like, it's such an annoying thing because sometimes you just never know what you're going to need on email. It's like, I suppose I should filter, like, delete the shit that I know I'm not going to need. But there are emails where, like, I've gone back in the past where it's like, oh, what happened? Like, who did I email? Or I needed this thing sent to me like 4 years ago and I have to find it and I search for it. Now, imagine I deleted that. Would have been screwed. But I mean, like, how often does that happen? Not that often.
No, I still recall emails from like 2016, 2015 that have attachments that I sometimes need. So, yeah.
Yeah.
If Gmail ever went down, I'd cry.
What is on Alessandro's TV series watch list this week? I always take notes of the ones he recommends and I eventually watch them, even though it's months after the fact. So what are you watching?
Right now, so I finished watching recently what was it called? High Score, which was the video game documentary.
I need to watch that still.
Yeah, narrated by Charles Martinet, which was quite fun.
Did you go, wahoo?
Yeah, wahoo. I'm watching now the new season of Better Call Saul, which is not actually the latest season. It's only season 4. Season 5 is already finished. but it just got put onto local Netflix. So I'm like, oh, cool. I can carry on watching that. Better Call Saul is better than Breaking Bad. Like, I'll come out and say it.
I've watched it. I can't
Breaking Bad is phenomenal. Like, absolute. But Better Call Saul is on another level. It's really something.
I need to watch it.
It's a very slow burn, but man, it goes places. Also, just to see Giancarlo Esposito being a Gus Fring again, which is real fun. That's all I'm watching currently.
Is that it?
So, yeah.
Okay. Next question. We're doing quite well. We've got 4 left from X. He says, how are you guys doing in the pandemic? Still mainly being indoors. I've got to say the outside world is still busting with hustling workers. It also helps that I'm in more demand than usual, so the bank is happy. You guys should go out for a drive sometime. It's pre-springtime after all. Maybe Alessandro can drive to the Afro homestead. I mean, he can. I just won't let him in.
Just won't let him in. Yeah. I mean, I'm like you. I mean, you and Lensko being very careful because of, family there. I'm equally being careful. Like, I'll go out to the shops and store, but still being super, super careful, sanitizing everything. Yeah. I mean, my good friend of mine lost his dad this week to COVID, so it's a real reminder of how real this virus still is and how easy it is for you to be infected. And I mean, he was at a hospital, he had access to everything he needed and still couldn't pull through. Yeah, so
it's hectic.
Don't mess with this thing.
Like, I haven't really, the last 5 months I've been at home, like probably 99.9999% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have cabin fever purely because I'm fortunate enough to live on like a sizable property. So like I don't feel claustrophobic. I'm not like if I was in an apartment, for example, I think it'd be a bit different. To be like, my God, like I need to get out.
Not even just having a garden. Could you imagine that? To like go out and soak up some sun on all?
No, I mean, like all through winter, so like Lenska and I live in a cottage and we go up to her parents' house and like we'll sit on the stoep, for example, like just have chilled weekends, whatever. But besides that, like I run 3 times a week, on a good week. And like on my short runs, I just run around the neighborhood. But like on my long runs, I do go out. Like I ran a half marathon last week and I went to Parkhurst, ran up to Rosebank. Like I went to the outskirts of where I live. And the people are just out living their best life. Like nothing's happened.
Yeah,
but like
it's really
I don't have cabin fever for that reason. Like I do get my time out and I enjoy that time out. But I'm very happy to stay put for now.
It is increasingly annoying seeing people acting like this thing is like over. It's just it's really said fucking not.
It's like we've peaked and we've come down, but we're still at the numbers we were at like stage 4 lockdown.
Yeah,
like
it's not done. It's not done. And yeah, we got through winter, which was definitely the harder part. But like Portugal's going back into lockdown. England should be going back into lockdown, but refuses to. And I tell you now, Europe is going to see, because they're going into winter now. Shit's going to get wild there again.
We're actually fortunate we're going into summer now.
Yeah, it definitely helps. So
yeah,
man. Yeah.
Next question. Matthew, when you spoke about the Clockwork Running Club last week, that you eventually had to leave when you got transferred to the Microsoft team, why didn't you make another running club there? It could have led to a monthly running race session between both clubs. Isn't
it because your time's changed? Your work hours changed?
Yeah, so Megs, when I was working just standard clockwork, my office hours were 8:30 to 5. So the reason I ran after work was 5 o'clock is just peak traffic time. And I lived with my mom, so that meant driving all the way back
Branston
to the east.
to Edenvale.
Yeah, so that meant like at least an hour commute both ways. So what I did is I would run after work and drive after 6, and then there would be like much less traffic. And then what happened is I moved in with Lenska, so I'm not as far. I mean, it's still away. Like it's a half an hour drive, but it's not an hour. And my hours now are 9:30 to.
It's also
6.
a different route. You don't have to take the highway.
No, so no highway. So I mean, it's just like it doesn't make sense to run after 6 when there's no traffic, and
it's also getting dark then as well.
Yeah, and I've got a much longer morning. So initially, when I moved to the team, I was hesitant. I was like, oh my god, like it's late hours, whatever. But I've really grown to appreciate that I have the option to sleep in if I want to, because I'm a night owl. I do like staying up late, and the days I get up early, I run, and I really enjoy starting my day like that. So
that's essentially how I work as well. I like, I like being able to get up at 7, go to the gym. Well, when I was going to the gym, not a fuck I'm going there yet. And then getting to work at like 9. Gets your day off to a good start. I enjoy it much more. Yeah,
it's a good time when you can force yourself out of bed. Okay, This is a long email. Have you ever seen or heard of a game that had you interested for a few words, then was disinterested by the end of the sentence of the description of that game? What if the developer later changed the game to better gander your interest a year or more later? An example of such game to me was Republic, which came out in 2013. It's a stealth game, but not the kind you are thinking of. Imagine Metal Gear Solid, but instead of playing as Snake, you play as Octagon, who watches and directs him away from hazards by watching the camera feeds. This didn't interest me, so I lost interest. Recently, though, I found out that the developer got enough requests from people for the PC version that in 2018 you can control the main character directly with the gamepad. Apparently, the console editions had this feature already, and the PC edition didn't get until much later.
Yeah, it originally came out on phones, Republic. I think that's why the limitation was there. So apparently, it's pretty good. I haven't played it, but it's got a cool art style.
I don't have such examples of that where it's like I read a description, then like my opinion changes. But I have had games where it's like, oh my god, like look at this trailer, and then I see gameplay, and like I don't know, like maybe it's a genre I didn't expect it to be, or the gameplay just doesn't appeal to me.
It's also very rare for developers to change the direction of a game based on feedback like that. I think Republic is a very rare exception of that happening. But I'm with you. There's many trailers. Actually, very recently, a game came out yesterday called Windbound, which looked a lot like a sort of like Wind Waker, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker with like a bit of like survival mechanics. Got that like watercolor looked really great. And then the review I read on GameSpot came out and it gave it like a 5 out of 10. And I found it was a roguelike. And I was like, what?
Oh, wow.
Like this game in all its trailers looks so chill and so like relaxing, like sailing around, and now it's a roguelike. I'm just like, okay, well,
how did this happen?
That's not on my radar anymore. So yeah, that definitely happens more often than not.
Okay, last question from Migs. We got through 10 of those and we've still got more to go. We're going to have to fly. Yeah. A knife-wielding robot, not robots. A knife-wielding robber is about to attack you in an attempt to harm...
We've got more emails, or is this...
No, on Instagram.
Oh, so is this Instagram now?
This is the last one from Migs.
Okay.
A knife-wielding robber is about to attack you in an attempt to harm you and then steal your possessions. What do you pull out of your pocket to defend yourself? A Swiss Army knife, a handgun, your clenched fist, a bag of Smarties, your cell phone, a handful of lint, a metal Jesus on the cross ornament.
Oh, wow. Holy shit.
I mean, the answer is
why would I have to pull out my fist from my pocket? Or my hands in my pocket?
Stand back, don't make me use it. It's like, oh, what does he have? Pull out your fist. Like, hey, I'll punch you. I think you've seen the Indiana Jones movies?
I actually haven't. Not a single one.
So there's the one scene, I can't remember which one it's from, but it's basically him in like a market, and there's a dude, I think he's yielding like a whip or something. He like does all these flashy moves, very old school action, and then Harrison Ford like looks at him and then just pulls out a gun and shoots him. So I mean, a handgun is probably the best option here.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm defending myself, for my life, 100% I'm choosing a handgun if the dude's got a knife.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit about honor at that point. Taking the dude out. Although the Smarties is a good idea because I'd like to have a nice snack before I go.
Speaking of snacks, this is a good segue. We have one surprise email from Malay. She says, "Hey guys, I was just wondering if you're still thinking about bug snacks."
Oh, every day.
I haven't stopped thinking of bug snacks. I have that song stuck in my head all the time.
Bug snacks.
Bug snacks. Yeah, that tune, it's too catchy. Okay. Over to Instagram stories. Good Lord. Okay, these are some quick fire questions at least.
Love Bugsnax. So
Best to Bash says Nvidia has something cooking in the oven and the timer is about to go off. What are your predictions?
Oh,
I mean, we're definitely getting the
fairly obvious
cards,
yeah,
surely.
They even teased it this week. So yeah, all the rumors. There's a 3090 and a 3080 coming out. Apparently that 3090 is hella expensive. $1,400 is the prediction.
I mean,
it's also a big card. It's a three slot width, which is huge. That is you ain't fitting that in an RTX build like ever.
Shit.
But yeah, apparently this is all based on rumors. Apparently it's like extremely powerful. Like 24 gigs of VRAM, apparently 60 to 70% faster than the 2080 Ti. Like monstrous card, absolute monster.
I mean, I think the thing with cards though is that I would normally say, so if you're in the market to build a PC, like you don't need like the latest greatest card.
Definitely
you can get it. I mean, look, if the 3 Series launches, you could get away with the mid-range one, but you know what you should do? You should be like, okay, those cards are coming out. Now's a good time to buy like a 2060 or 2070 or 2080 RTX because they should be cheaper.
Yeah.
Except stock is a bastard apparently. Like no one can get stock anywhere for some reason.
I think that's more to do with just like imports coming into the country.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. It's like, because I'd say just buy like wait and then buy like this current generation because these cards are great, you know. But if you're not going to get stock, then I don't know. Like, what are you going to do?
It's and I mean a new generation from Nvidia always launches with their flagships, so it'll always be the most expensive, and you wait 6 months and then they start launching their more like not budget, just like mid-range. So like the 2060 came out 6 months after the 2018 2070 did.
Yeah.
So like, you know, wait is all I'm saying.
Just wait.
And Nvidia definitely wants people to splurge on the $1,500 card, but let's be realistic. That is just.
Let me tell you, people
obscene.
who benchmark are salivating at the moment, going. Oof. And
I mean,
video going,
I really want to see this card because I want to see. It's been a long time since a new generation has provided a leap in performance that large, and also now I think with you know, the 20 series is nice, and I love my 20 series card, but it took a long time for it to start reaching its potential in terms of like games, you know, having ray tracing. I mean, when the card launched, there were no ray tracing games to test it on, like absolutely zero. The Windows didn't even have the DirectX 12 update it required to support it. Like, it really came in at a time where the market was not ready for it. So I think now, especially with new consoles committing to ray tracing support, more and more games will have it as a default.
Yeah, so, I was going to say, I mean, the only ray tracing game I have played is Control.
It's still the best one.
It's so pretty. I haven't played anything else purely because, like, maybe I just haven't played any of those games that have ray tracing, but it's still, like, a limited thing. But I think with the new gen of consoles coming, it's going to be, like, the standard. So
and also, like, when the ray tracing games came out, the performance hit was so large that it was often, like, you turn it on to see and be like, yeah, that's pretty, and then turn it off because, like, you just... But now with stuff like DLSS 2.0, like you can get this perfect balance of, I mean, in Control, I can play the game at like a high frame rate with ray tracing all on, and it, you know, it looks fucking great. So,
goddamn,
yeah, bring on new cards. I'm keen.
Nice.
I love new tech.
Cello ZA says Formula One time. Will it rain? What's your 1, 2, and 3 position? Will Vettel qualify top 10?
No, Vettel will not qualify top 10. It's Spa, which is a very straight line speed track. So, going to go for the 2 Mercedes. I'll go Bottas first this time. Bottas, Hamilton. Last year at this track, Verstappen crashed out. So, I'm going to go for a wild card and say one of the racing points. So, I'll say Lance Stroll comes third.
Goddamn. This means nothing to me, but I'll take your word for it. What was the best thing before sliced bread? Just bread, dude. Just eat it.
I mean,
actually,
you saw how Vikings used to eat shit. They didn't slice it. They just took chunks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna come out and say that sliced bread was a de-evolution thing, because now we have to like cut bread before we eat it. Whereas before you could just grab the loaf and bite into it.
How good does it feel when you just have like a small roll and like I don't know, like a stew or soup, and you just ripping that bread like a barbarian and just eating it.
You buy a bulldog when you just tear a piece off it.
It's so good.
I'm hungry.
One of my favorite memories from a past E3. Were you there? I can't recall if you were there or not. No, I didn't. No, you were at that E3, but you went to that event. It was the Bethesda after party. I think me and Dave went. I don't think you and Garth went.
No.
And at the after party, they were handing out massive turkey legs.
Wait a minute.
Were you there? I can't remember if you were there. I think
we were there. I don't remember.
Were they?
I don't think...
Yeah.
No, you go first.
No. What were you saying?
No, I was going to say, I don't think there was any point in that trip where we didn't do anything all together, all four of us. So I'm sure we were with you. I do remember... I have a memory
Blink 182 played.
Blink 182. No, I don't know if I was at that.
I think it was the year after we went together, to be honest.
Yeah, it might have been the year after.
And Dave and I went to that event, yeah.
The one party I'm thinking of was, I can't remember who it was, but I do distinctly remember like a skate rink or roller rink. Which E3 was that? It was like one of those. Rink. I wasn't even on the list.
You guys got that. Was Bethesda. That? Yeah, that was Bethesda. That Bethesda? Yeah, okay. But it was so. This was at a Bethesda party, but it wasn't the same after party. But it was at the same venue.
Oh shit, that's so funny. I just remember getting to that thing, and it's like, cool, Alessandro, yes, Garth, yes, Dave, yes, Matty. No, your name's not on the list. I'm like, no.
that was the Ubisoft party at the roller rink. Yes, Manab invited us there, and you weren't on the list, and then. I was like, well, this makes no sense. And I remember as we were walking in, the host of Ubisoft's pre-show, the E3 pre-show was there, and he just looked at us, and he's like, it's fine, you can let them in. And I was just like, oh, well, thank you.
But you know that moment where all your friends are going out on nights out, and then like everyone gets in and you don't. It's like, well, guys, I'll just go home. Like, you don't want to be the person like, no, well, now we can't go in. It's like,
I'll never forget that evening because we got there super early. We were super underdressed for that event. Like everyone was in suits and shit.
Yeah.
And then we sat in a corner eating little burger sliders. And then Manab wanted us to get lit. Like he was ready to party, and we were like, nah, we got work to do. And we left and we went to In-N-Out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then I don't know what time we got home, but we still worked after that.
Yeah, we still worked. Yeah. And then I remember the next day we saw Manab and he was like, fuck, I got drunk. And I was like, yeah.
Manab is honestly one of the nicest PR dudes I've ever met.
Really awesome guy.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Is he still at Ubisoft?
Miss not seeing him. But what I was saying was at this Bethesda party, they were handing out whole turkey legs. So it was very... amazing to like walk into the door and see everyone walking around these massive wings of like white meat, and it just felt like a cartoon. Like
I was just gonna say, it's the sort of thing you see in like an Asterix comic or something.
Yes, or like in the Flintstones where they have this massive wing, and they're just like, and everyone was just fucking going ham on this thing. They were just like eating it in there. It was amazing. It was so good. It was so good.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what is the most ridiculous fact you know? I got one off the top of my head.
Okay, go for it while I think of one.
You know figs?
Yes. Of course it's about figs. What?
Eat wasps.
The figs eat wasps?
Go look at that shit. I think, how does it work?
What? Is a fig like a Venus flytrap?
Hang on. Figs.
That is crazy.
Eat wasps. I remember reading this like a year ago and I was like, what? So this will put you off figs, even though they're delicious. But here's a line. It says, when you eat a fig pollinated through mutualism, you're technically eating the wasp too. Because I think what happens is it's something about the wasp gets into the fig or something, and it eats it. I can't remember the actual details.
Does it get like stuck and then it just like decomposes in there? And then the fig uses it for growth?
It's something like that. Caprifig.
Fucking hell. They should add figs as an enemy in Grounded.
They really should. Okay, I'm not going to find it right now, but look it up. You'll
That
be
is
amazed.
wild.
I remember reading it's something like every fig you eat is technically has a wasp in it.
Huh.
Yeah, think about that.
And it's only wasps that get trapped in it?
I think it's a specific wasp that it
Wow.
I don't know if it pollinates the fig or something, but it eats the fig eats it.
What wasn't there that story earlier this year where it was like, oh yeah, 2020 is the coronavirus and now we've got murder hornets. So is our best defense just wearing figs?
I mean, probably we'll just eat, wear them around and then that's it.
That is crazy.
So how wasps pollinate figs? A young fig tree produces inedible male figs called capri figs, which produce pollen.
Inedible male figs. Interesting.
Female wasps know they need to get inside a fig to lay their eggs, so they crawl inside both male and female figs to try to do that. The female wasp burrows inside the fig through a narrow opening called an ostiole. If she arrives in a male fig, she is able to lay her eggs in an ideal environment and then dies. I don't know if this is the same thing, but
the male fig says it's inedible, so it seems like if the wasp chooses the wrong fig,
it dies.
It dies and isn't able to lay its eggs correctly.
Oh, wait, yeah. If a female burrows into a female fig, she can't lay her eggs and dies of starvation. However, she does bring pollen into the eternal flowers of the fig, pollinating it. After that, the fig quickly ripens and people and other animals like to eat them. So yes, there is at least one dead wasp inside the fig.
That is incredible. Nature's incredible, man.
There's a weird fact that I knew.
That is incredible. Holy shit. I did not know that. That's wow.
It's wild.
I can't think of one to top that, honestly. I can't even think of one that comes even close. That's mind-blowing.
That's the one.
So glad I do this podcast to learn new facts about wasps and figs.
What superhero would you be if you had the chance to play one? Sandy as Spider-Man? ?
Hell yes.
Listen, this man can't steal my superhero. Spider-Man's always been my favorite. I think purely because if I think in terms of superheroes, Spider-Man looks like he has the most fun.
Yes,
and
exactly.
It looks like a lot of fun to just zip around.
Like the whole motion of like swinging and pirouetting in the air just looks so fun. So yeah, I would hella love that.
Definitely Spider-Man.
If I had to choose another one so that you can be Spider-Man,
you're so kind. Thank you.
Iron Man seems cool. That suit seems like a fun time. I love tech, so yeah, why not?
I think just the fact that you can put that, like in the movies, Iron Man has a suit ready to go at any point. That's
man.
Cool.
The evolution of how like convenient that suit was really gets wild in Marvel. It's like first Iron Man, it's like, oh, I need to get back to my house to get in my suit. Second Iron Man, it's in a briefcase. By the time we get to like Avengers, it's like, nah, it's just fucking nanomachines that just come out of me and build into a suit. It's like, well, that seems implausible, but okay.
Yeah, it's okay, dude. What animal would be the cutest if you shrunk it down to the size of a Jack Russell? A little. Okay, what are you gonna say? You've got something in mind.
An elephant.
Oh, a baby elephant. That's so cute.
Yeah, a baby with the trunk and everything. Oh my god, so cute.
What noise would it make? It was the worst elephant impersonation. I was gonna say I'd always like being a cat lover. I'd be thrilled if I had like a Jack Russell sized Bengal tiger, for example.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Oof, that thing would still probably do damage to you.
It would still probably hurt you. Like a
wake
leopard
up in the morning and that thing's just eating your face.
Imagine a Jack Russell-sized cheetah that just runs at the same speed.
Oh my god. It would probably run faster because it's so much lighter as well. It's like the VW Polo versus like a GTI. It's just so much lighter.
It's turned into a horror movie, like a baby-sized cheetah murdering people because it's so quick.
Imagine a giraffe that size. That'd be pretty cool as well.
That'd be cute as well. What food is delicious but a nuisance to eat? I actually thought about this. One that came to mind, it's something I haven't eaten for a long time, is prawns. I used to love eating prawns. I haven't had for a long time, but the fact that you have to peel them for like a little bit of prawn is like
that's not even the hard part. I think the preparation is even worse because you have to slit them down the back and take out the little poop sack. That is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Or you can just be like Darren who eats the shells.
Oh.
Apparently it's a thing. You can do it. It blows my fucking mind because the texture of that thing is disgusting.
Yeah, I can't. Like, I've had it before. I've eaten a prawn. Like, there's a little bit of shine. Like I didn't
it's
peel
horrible.
it properly. But deep fried prawns are delicious.
Oh,
like that I'll take.
I love them in the oven.
Oof, yum. But nothing else comes to mind. What do you have a food that's delicious?
Easy number one here, mango.
Mango. Yeah, you have to peel that shit.
Fucking love mango. Peeling that shit and cutting it without it completely losing all its juices all over your hand. Absolute nightmare.
Absolute hell.
I love mango to death.
Oh my God. So I just saw the next question. What old person things do you do?
Oh God, so many.
I don't know.
I like... I don't know if this is an old person thing or just like a neat thing, but I like having my bed made all the time.
Listen.
Hey, I say this now and I look back and it's not made.
Yeah, I'm like, your bed's unmade. What's going on here? I'll come out and say that growing up, my mom likes to be tidy. Typical poor mom. Things have to be tidy in the place. And growing up, I used to hate it. Hate it. Like, why must my bed be made? Why must the dishes be done now? Why must everything be straight and in order? And let me tell you, much to my horror and surprise and shock, I am now my mom. I'm that person. The bed must be made. Everything has a place. I don't like dishes left in the sink.
I feel like we went through the same origin story.
Yeah. We're both Spider-Man.
Yeah, we're both Spider-Man.
Portuguese Spider-Man.
I don't know what old... Oh, I like taking a shower at night just to feel warm.
Yeah, that's... I mean, not only that, my thing is I don't like showering in the morning because then, like, you go through the whole day and I feel like I don't like climbing into bed feeling dirty.
Oh, but I shower in the morning as a proper shower and then at night just to get warm.
Oh, you just to get warm. No, I don't do that.
I remember you at E3 showering at 2 in the morning. I do not... I'll never forget that. That was peculiar and bizarre. But
yeah, because think about it. Okay, we've spent the whole day walking the halls of E3. You've sweated, you've been dirty, you've touched other people. Then you're going to climb into bed and sleep in that filth.
Oh no! I'm not disputing the reasoning. I'm just saying, 2 a.m. You're exhausted. That you still have the energy to do that.
It doesn't matter. I don't care. I'll always shower before I climb into bed. I can't. It's like I hate climbing into bed without showering. It's just, it's bad. I don't know if that's an old person thing or a hygienic thing.
Do you shower before or after your streams?
Before. Which
what
is
about all the filth
PogoStuck
of the stream? It's 5 hours sitting in that chair.
It's a mistake after because after PogoStuck, I should take another shower.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sweating.
You're getting into that bed and you're all sweaty and Lenska's just like, what the fuck?
She's like, what's going on? Would you rather have to always say what you're thinking about or never speak again?
Oh my God.
I could say what I'm always thinking about. Oh, thank you. Lenska just bought me a Seattle coffee.
Ooh.
She says I'm pure as well. I'm so young and innocent. I'll just say what's on my mind.
I would rather be quiet because speaking everything on your mind will get you in trouble.
Oh my God, you're just going to be
so much trouble. Think about not even in the real world, just with your partner, your wife. That'll get you into so much shit.
That's true. You'll get into some oh God.
You can't stop yourself from thinking dumb things like.
Look, I would say dumb things. I admit, but still, not being able to speak is a problem.
Like, there's a reason your brain has a filter, because you think things and go, I would never say that, because that is fucked up. Now you have no filter.
Shit. Would you rather want to read other people's minds or talk to animals?
Ooh, that is a good one.
I don't want to know what other people are thinking. Look, it would be helpful, to gauge how a person actually feels about you, what the mood's like.
I think it would drive me crazy.
Yeah, but animals, if I could talk to Lupin and be like, why are you meowing at me all the time? He says, dude, I just want cuddles.
Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah, there's so many times where my dogs are like moaning for no reason. I'm just like, I wish you could tell me what was wrong.
Yeah.
Point to the area where it's sore.
And then you get the superpower and you're like, what do you want? Like, no, I'm just shouting.
Yeah.
Because I want to.
Instead of barking, you just say,
why are you whining?
All the time. Like,
dude, I just constant screaming. It's when your dogs bark at the cat, you just hear them going, ah, and other people. That's amazing.
It's like, why are you doing that? It's like, I don't know, I enjoy it. Ah, like the whole time. God.
Last question. Last question from Jelly. We have one more. Would you rather have 3 eyes or a visible tail?
Oh, that really depends on. Is the tail like a monkey tail? Will it be like a third arm?
Dude, it's definitely a tail. I don't want 3 eyes. I can get away with a tail.
I've always wanted a tail.
You can tuck the tail in your pants if it bothers you enough.
Could you imagine having a tail where you could play games and the tail can feed you snacks?
And you don't have to worry about getting grease on your
fucking
controller.
Game changer. Exactly.
Shit.
We as humans have not evolved to our final form. We deserve tails. Actually, we de-evolved. We came from a species which had tails. We had 3 arms and we chose to toss it aside.
We came from just having bread to going to sliced bread.
Fucking
definitely a de-evolution. What have we done?
Unbelievable.
Last question.
Hate my ancestors. God.
Which old school games made you want to pull your hair out? Oh, sorry, this is from your Shah, by the way.
What's up?
Which old school games made you want to pull your hair out due to the difficulty? Mine was Mega Man.
Ooh. Yeah, or even I'm going back and trying to play Mega Man now makes me pull my hair out because I'm so shit at them. I love them, but I'm so shit. Same with Contra. Oh my God, I'm so bad at that game.
Let me tell you, Contra is a story I'll never forget. Purely in the sense that I remember growing up. So I played the game with cheats. I distinctly remember having like infinite lives, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I remember being, inverted commas, brave enough to not put the cheats on and figure out that game to get to the end without doing that. It's like I got really good at that game. Then I played it a couple of years ago and I was like, how did I do that as a kid?
It's so hard.
How did I make it to the end? Because, but I suppose you must remember that when you're young, you've got like infinite time. So you just like, you'll lose a day playing that shit. Today, it's like you play an hour, like, F this game. Like I've had enough. But as an adult, it took me a long time to get to the end of that game because it's so difficult.
It's so challenging. And it just feels like completely different to how we expect games to react now. Like it's really like you almost have to cheese that game to finish it. Yeah.
It's like just a sidebar here. I wonder what it'd be like being a kid growing up with today, like with games, say like Hollow Knight or Celeste, where you just pour infinite time into it. Then you come back as an adult. Like I don't know what games will look like in 15, 20 years, but you come back like, oh, let me pick up Hollow Knight. I'm so good at this game. And you just die over and over again. Like, or Dark Souls, whatever. It's interesting, man. Gaming. Do you have any
I remember
examples?
playing a 2D Jurassic Park game. It was like a top-down thing. Did you play it on a
Game Boy by any chance?
No, it was I think it was on one of those like knockoff Golden China things. So it was meant to be a SNES game or something.
I played the Game Boy version of that game. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's really hard. But I think as a kid it was hard because I didn't understand what I was meant to do. Like I needed to get keys to open doors and raptors kept fucking my shit up.
And I actually remember that there's something about that game, and I think it must have been a bug or something I couldn't figure out. It was one of those games where, say, if you play through every level, you keep your ammo and your hull. Like, I don't know what the mechanics were off the top of my head, but you progress through levels and you have armor and health and whatever. If you died, though, it was a thing of like you lost all of that stuff and you had like your starting ammo.
Hey, a roguelike.
But except you start on the level that you died on. So I remember being on, say, like the 10th level, for example, and I've like made it there without dying, and then I die, and I'm like, well, I don't have my guns anymore, and I could never get past it.
That's not a bug. That's a thing at the time.
Do you think it's intentional? Because there were, I just couldn't beat
Doom. The original Doom is exactly like that.
The same thing, yeah.
Which is ridiculous. Like,
but I think Doom is still designed in a way that you could arguably like cheese your way through a level.
Yeah, you could.
Oh, you know what it was? I remember. I'll look it up, not on air, but there was a fight with a T-Rex, I think, where you had to like move down the screen, shoot it away, move down the screen, shoot it away.
Oh, yes, I do remember that. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, there was not enough ammo to do that. So I was like, well, yeah, no, that game
design. Remember when everyone's like, games used to be so much better. No patches, no expansions, no this and that. It's like, when they were broken, they were fucked.
Let's remember.
That was it. Game over.
Yeah. Although it has led to speedruns, for example, having some interesting things because things just don't get patched out.
Yeah,
they just
it's kind of
exist in the
fantastic.
game, and it's great. Yeah, that's all the questions. Holy shit, we spoke about questions for 40 minutes, maybe more.
If you want to keep us talking about questions, that was a bit of a yawn there. Sorry.
There's a lot of a yawn.
You can email us, checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on social media. Checkpoint Chat on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok. You should visit our website, checkpointchat.com. You should visit our YouTube page, which is linked in the description below.
Goddamn.
Go find it. We want that custom URL, so we don't have to keep telling you to look at the description. Go subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe. Because then I can tell you it's youtube.com/checkpointchat.
Imagine, as a matter of interest, if any of you listen on Google Podcasts, hit us up. Because just interestingly enough, I've noticed in our analytics we've had like a spark in Google Podcast users, and I'd love to know why. Like, is the podcast being promoted somewhere? Like, I don't know. I can't check myself. I don't have an Android phone, so
you can't understand it.
I can't understand it. So hit us up on any of the platforms you've just said, and let us know if you're a Google user and if you knew and where you came from. I'd love to hear.
Where did you come from? Where did you go?
Episode.
Where'd you come from?
The end. Okay, that's it.
On that bombshell,
goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening to episode 114 of Checkpoint Chat. Damn, son, we're getting up there. Daniel. Can you believe it?
Getting there.
Wow, this can't be right. Sorry, I'm just surfing like EveTech at the moment, and I'm looking at case fans, and there's a 3-pack of case fans that is priced at 20,000 rand. That cannot be the right price.
I mean, these are the best fans you'll ever have in your life.
Look, it must be a mistake because it says, because normally they have list price and then they go our price, to show like a discount.
Yeah.
So it goes list price 2,500 rand, our price 21,000 rand.
Bargain. Just on that note, I just realized I missed a question. Here's a quick fire one from
discount
Best of Ash.
-700%.
God damn, that's a big discount. So last surprise question: water cooler or air cooler for PC build?
Ooh. It really depends. I think water cooler is nice for like sound, because it's real quiet and whatever. But there is no, especially with like Corsair's AIO coolers and stuff. There's no like benefit to having that over a good big like fan on your CPU. I know what's that company? Fuck. How it's escaping me now. There's a company that makes really, really good fans. They make those really ugly looking like brown ones, but they're very, very good performing fans. God, why can I not remember the name now? AF 120. Let's see if I can find the name real quick. No, it's not Silent Fan. It's not that. It's not. Okay, anyway. But they make like a CPU cooler that is like 2 fans and 2 heatsinks, and it's really, really good. Noctua. That's the brand I'm looking for. Noctua. So yeah, I don't know. I've got water cooling and I love it. It is a pain to set up and whatever, but it's nice and quiet and whatever, but it's definitely like you can get much cheaper solutions than that. I don't know. You don't have a I've
just got a straight old fan.
Yeah, you got a single fan.
And my PC is mostly quiet, but it doesn't faze me because I wear headphones anyway.
Yeah, I mean the loudest thing in my case is my GPU. That thing. Yeah, well, that thing ramps up, man.
My current PC compared to my old one is like whisper quiet. Honestly, my old one was so loud.
Yeah, it just happens over time. They just get very loud. So
okay, that's it. Let's pull the plug on this episode. It's another 2-hour extravaganza. Good thing I didn't say, we're not going to go for 2 hours.
Let's light this fire and kick the tires. Let's go.
Nice, man. Be safe.
Be safe.
That's the end of the show.
That's the end of the show. Just be safe. That's it.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening. We will obviously see you next week. And stay safe. Send us questions. Peace out. Bye.
Yes, goodbye.